Hey, everybody. Welcome to another episode of the Rooster Stone Show. Hey, man.
Cock-a-doodle-doo.
Dude, guess what? I'm back here with Mo again. It's Mo and Mo on the show.
Thanks for having me back again,
love
man.
having you here, man. This is so great. Dude, and this is really cool for me because this is our first new album review.
Brand new album.
Yeah. Mo and I talked about this from like almost the very first time we talked about him doing the show, that we were definitely going to do the new My Morning Jacket album. And it is out, man. It's called Is. So we're going to review that today. But don't forget to, like and follow and subscribe to us.
Follow this man.
Yeah, like it all. You listen to our music on roosterstone.com or check it out on Spotify, Apple Music, all the rest.
Absolutely.
And, comment, what you think about the album. Take a listen to it, dude. It is so good. So,
it is very
Kevin,
good.
Kevin has a lot of experience with this band, so I'm going to let him kind of get us started.
Yeah, this band, I started listening to this band I missed probably the first 3 years of them. They came out in 2004. So I think I grabbed onto them in 2007. They were already on their second album, and they just went through a band. They had other people
like a retool
the band, I should say. They added Carl, the guitar player. They added Bo, the keyboard player. And I saw this band.
Did that have a drastic change on their sound?
It did not, which was crazy.
Yeah.
Which you thought it would, especially Carl was so different than the other gentleman who played guitar, and I can't think of his name.
Yeah, usually that has kind of a big effect on.
But I will say this: the change was great.
Yeah.
Because not only does Carl Brummel play the guitar, he plays the sax, he plays the lap steel. So he's
a much more versatile player.
And he widened their sound to like unbelievable.
Oh, that's awesome.
I did see this band in, I think it was 5 years ago, at the Tower Theater. It was actually the first time I got to see them. This band brought me back to the 70s.
Wow.
Like how it was.
So give me a rating of their live show. Like how are they
their live show is 10.
Oh, wow. A 10.
This band live, it's like the Jay Giles band.
Yeah.
This Jay Giles is different studio than they are live.
Sure.
This band is different studio than live. Wow. This band can put on a show, and they will play for 4 hours.
Oh, dude. See, that's what I love.
This is a band that once they're going, they're going to...
Dude, there is nothing worse than paying for a ticket to a show and they're done in 65 minutes.
90-minute show.
Yeah.
90-minute show, no emotion.
Yeah.
So you stand there.
Going through the motions.
Yakety-yak, good night, and leave.
Yeah.
No, this is not what you get from this band.
Oh, man, that's awesome.
Jim James puts on a great show. The drummer, Patrick O'Halloran, he reminds me of... Animal the Muppets. He's got that red long hair.
There he is, everybody. There he is. It's Animal.
Hey, his arms are flying. And I do want to recommend something. If you don't know this band, and I'm going to turn you on to something that you must watch before you get into this band.
Okay.
They just put out a couple years ago a documentary, and it's only a half hour long.
Wow.
It's from when they played Bonnaroo.
Okay.
They're big into Bonnaroo. In 2004. They knew they made it. They walked off that stage and they knew something was different. Mm-hmm. Listen to me. This documentary will make the hair stand up.
Wow.
So here they are playing. It's beautiful, sunny, 50,000 freaking people. Mm-hmm. Here come the rain clouds, dude. And it opens up.
Oh, man.
And this band are telling them, get off.
No way.
They felt it. The crowd never moved. Mm-hmm. The band never moved.
And
it is pouring. Jim James has no shoes or socks on.
Dude.
They're running out to him with flip-flops, saying, please put these on. He goes, I will die here.
Dude, for people that don't know, when you're playing, musical instruments, the wattage is quite high, particularly if you're playing in front of 50,000 people. So to play in the rain like that, even if there's cover over you, is quite dangerous. Dude, that's amazing.
They were up. Jim James was up to his ankles. And the guy who was in charge of the weather.
Don't put your lips on the mic.
Listen, the guy who was in charge of the weather was freaking out on the side of the stage because these guys are going to die. And Jim James says, yes, we will die up here. before we get off of this.
Because we're gonna die happy.
Right.
Dude, that's awesome.
At the end, Jim James has a flying V. And he kneels in front of the guitar. I mean, he kneels in front of the drum. And he puts, it looks like a ritual. And it's pouring.
Dude.
And he's just got the flying V up at the end of the concert.
Dude.
And
it's like the movie poster for Platoon.
It is.
Yeah.
It's called, the name of the documentary is called Return to Thunderdome. It's only 26 minutes long.
Wow.
And I totally recommend that documentary,
dude,
to get into this band.
That is amazing. I really like that story. Where, you know what, you definitely have to check that out. It's called Return to Thunderdome.
Return to Thunderdome.
Yeah, I'm going to check that out.
26 minutes.
I'm like literally going to check that out as soon as we leave.
It's great for people like me.
I almost wish you would have told me that before we did the review.
Oh, dude, this documentary.
Yeah.
I've seen it like 3 or 4 times.
That's
I can't
crazy.
stop watching it. It is
Yeah.
the whole lead up. It tells about all the time. Now they're a staple at Bonnaroo now.
Absolutely.
Yeah, they're the only
But they
band
weren't
that
then.
They weren't then.
Right,
You see
yeah.
how young they look.
Oh, dude, that's crazy.
You know, and they knew when they got off of that stage, they all come backstage and they all just hug because they knew this is
They had
it.
arrived.
We
Yeah.
have got to the other side.
Oh, dude, that's
It's a
beautiful.
great documentary.
That has to be a beautiful feeling. Dude, that's awesome. And that's amazing. And you know what? If you don't know anything about this band, I wasn't huge into this band. I had heard a few songs before. But, you know, I really enjoyed this
Out
album.
of Kentucky.
Yeah. Let's kick it off, man. Let's do it, man. Let's get in here
So
a little
they just
bit.
put out their 10th. This is their 10th
This is 10. This is
studio
10.
album.
Okay.
Called Is.
Yeah, so this album is called Is. Dude, the cover is amazing.
I love
It
the
looks like
cover.
they're sitting around a table at a seance.
Yeah, with their hands
Yeah,
on.
it's really cool.
It's very cool.
It's a super, really cool.
And to open up the sleeve, what's on the inside of the sleeve is pretty cool.
Yeah,
too,
that's
man.
neat. You got the record already.
Yeah, I
That's
got the
great.
album.
So the album opens up with a song called Out in the Open. And it's kind of like, it starts with like this low drone.
Yes.
And then all of a sudden, you know, Jim James' voice comes in so like soft and subtly. And this song just builds this fever pitch over the course of like 4 minutes. It is a beautifully crafted anthemic song that centers on self-reflection.
Totally.
It's got a hint of spiritual awakening in there, and maybe more than a hint. This song features the versatility that Jim James has vocally. I mean, it really does. He's showing off here a little bit what he's got. I was not expecting the album to start this way.
It comes right out.
I mean, it was a real tone setter for me. You know, I don't know what I expected, but it wasn't this. It is a very well done anthemic song. What did you think about this tune?
I love how it opens up like
Yeah.
that. And I love how what you said, how it's melodic and it just builds and builds to it's just in your face. And the next thing you know, you're just jamming to the song.
You know, dynamically, this band, period, like over the course of this whole album, they get dynamics, and not every band does.
Correct.
You know, not give the song someplace to go.
Breathe, let it breathe.
And they do. They do that well.
Well, first thing on this album is this is the first album that Jim James gave up control. Mm-hmm. He always produced. He always was the engineer. He was everything.
Yeah.
This album, he gave it up.
Good for him. He can
Yep.
focus more on the artistic
Well,
side
he
of
gave it to Brendan O'Brien, who did a lot with Pearl Jam, who did a lot with Bruce Springsteen.
Yeah.
And what they said, Jim James said, it was so different at first because he was such a control freak. But then after a while, the band started to be like, we want to be good for Coach. You know? Like, we want to do this for Coach.
Dude, I love it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I thought to give up that control, because
Yeah.
Jim James is a control freak.
Yeah.
If you know.
Well, you know what, man? A lot of composers and songwriters are. They have a vision for this song, and they want to get it done. You got to have trust in your people, though. And
Yeah.
it sounds to me like they do. So what did you think about the second song,
Well,
Half
Half
a
a
Lifetime?
Lifetime. This took me a little bit to get used to. This song, this song took me a little bit to get used to. It's a choppy song right off the bat. Chop, 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 chop. And all the way through, actually. But then as it opens up at the end, that guitar solo at the end is just freaking fabulous, man. I enjoyed the song. Again, it took me a couple times to listen to that song it's just something different today than I heard from them before, you know? But I really dig it. I love when at the end of that, when it just opens up, you know, because it's chop, 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 and then they just bring it to an open at the end.
Yeah.
That guitar solo at the end just blows me
Dude,
away,
you know
man.
what? I mean, I felt the exact same way. And, you know, I felt this way through a lot of their songs. They have a really nice sort of, you know, what's the word I'm thinking of? There's a nice contrast between their verses and their choruses. You know, in this song, you know, all through that verse, you're getting that stunted guitar.
Yeah.
But then you have the lackadaisical lyrics. You know, so the guitar's real stunted, but the lyrics are sort of like just wandering over the top of them. And it makes this song a lot more catchy and listenable than I at first would have expected when I first heard it come in.
Yeah.
And, you know,
And what a contrast from the first song.
Dude, this ended up being one of my favorite tunes. I love this song.
Yeah,
I really like this one.
And it took me a little bit. Mm-hmm. Like I had to listen to this one a couple times.
And it's such a gear change from the first song.
It is.
You know, it really is. So, you know, that happens a lot on this album. So the third song is called Everyday Magic. All right. And it starts with this sort of smooth signature guitar lick. And I love the way that it allows the guitar lick to kind of just take control. It doesn't feel the need to layer a bunch of stuff underneath it. It's sort of just letting it do its thing. This tune reminded me of like an 80s pop rock song.
How about it?
The transition from verse to chorus is really smooth. It's probably that crunchy guitar that comes in the chorus and the way it bumps along. Like, I mean, it just, you got to hear it to know what I'm talking about. It's that crunchy guitar, man. But the chord progression is really groovy, and it's simple, but it's pleasing. The lyrical refrain is very easy to pick up, man. I mean, you can sing along to this song even on like the first listen. This is pop gold, people. I mean, it is gold. It is so. It
definitely get you bouncing,
dude. It's butter.
Butter.
It is. It's butter.
It's butter.
So what did you think of Everyday Magic?
I loved Everyday Magic actually from the first time I heard it. Just like you said. The lyrics of the song is just puts you in that, you know, I like to get, you know, puts you in that, just in that groove. I love it. I love it. The next song, I Can Hear Your Love. Did this not give you a George Harrison vibe, man?
It's so funny that you said that because literally this is what I said. This reminds me of a solo John Lennon song, both lyrically and musically.
That's what I got out of it.
Dude.
That's all I got out. I was like, this is such a dreamy, it's a dreamy song.
Even the way he sings it.
It's, to me, I heard George Harrison throughout this whole song.
That is so funny.
That's funny we picked a different Beatle.
Well, Harrison and Lennon are the most similar of the Beatles.
Yes.
So I totally understand that. Dude, the chord progression of this song, if you tear away the modern instruments to it, it's 50s song.
It's totally.
It is a 50s chord progression.
Yes, it is.
I mean, you can almost hear like, you know, I don't know. I don't want to sing anything to it just because I don't want to like get that in your head.
Give it to
This
him.
is a great song.
Give it to him.
Yeah, no.
Give it to
Not
him,
this
Bo.
time, people. Maybe later. So the next song is a song called Time Waited. And, you know, when I first heard this song, I'm like, what is going on here? Am I listening to a Neil Diamond song? Dude, I'm like, I mean, from that trilly piano.
Yep, I love the piano
to
in
the
beginning.
croony voice of Jim James that he's delivering in this one. It's such a 70s throwback. Like soft rock station.
Yacht
like
rock.
AM Gold.
Yacht rock.
Yeah, dude. I mean,
WFIL.
and it, you know, it's just like I said on the last one. It's like a 70s song with modern instruments. And, you know, the melody in this song is super good.
Yes.
I mean, from a melodic standpoint, it is extremely singable. Maybe the most singable song on the project.
And this was their first single off the album.
I see why. Dude, you know, one thing that really stood out for me in this song is I really like the bridge. The bridge.
I love the message.
The bridge elevates this song up. It's, you know, it's just exactly what a middle eight should be. It takes the song to another level.
Yep. And I just love the message. Turning 64 last week, you know, time doesn't wait for nobody, man.
No.
And that's what he's telling you. Get up, get out.
Yeah, don't wait for it to be the perfect moment, man.
Get up and get out and do it yourself.
Yeah, you know, there's a lot of those good, straight messages on this whole project.
Yeah. And this, to me, and we talked about this and we laughed about it, this, to me, is a very upbeat album. which you could tell Jim James had nothing to do with because he's a little darker, you know. But this to me is just one of them uplifting records that you put on and you just feel good about it.
Yeah.
The next song, Beginning from the Ending, I love this song. This song is probably the harder song on the record.
Maybe other than Squid Ink.
Other than Squid Ink.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. I'll give you Squid Ink. It definitely has rock vibes to it. And I fall in love with this song the more and more I hear it. The more and more I hear this song, the more and more I dig this song.
Yeah.
Man. I love this song.
Dude, the strummy, it's that strummy guitar and the hoppy bass line. You know, like it's just got this catchiness to it.
Pulls you right in.
And his voice, again, he has such a unique voice and he really owns it. And I love that. You know, so many singers out there are very derivative. You know, you can tell that they're emulating, or at least that's how they started. They started by emulating somebody else.
Yeah.
So when I hear an original voice, I always like to point it out and say, I like this. I like what's going on here. That's a great song, man.
I love that song.
It really is.
I love that song.
So here's the song that kind of it vexed you for a little bit.
It got me.
Let me know.
This one took me back.
So this song, I mean, from right off the bat, it's got, you know, anyone who knows anything about like MIDI drums and stuff like that from the throwback era, it's got those 808 drums popping in right off the bat in the song. I mean, they're right there. You can tell that 808 snare anywhere.
Yeah.
It's got this like music box sound underneath his voice, and that's it. It's the 808 drums
and him,
the music box, and his voice. And so the contrast then between the verse and the chorus is giant again. It's coming back to that same thing we talked about earlier. It's a really nice sound because, you know, you're just when you think you're kind of getting used to the song, it pops you in the mouth.
Right.
It switches gears on you. It keeps you listening. This song surprised me.
It's ear candy.
You know, in a different way than you, but it surprised me. You know, it comes out swinging once it gets going. It starts out so subtle and so like, what's going on here?
And this is what drew me to go,
yeah.
I don't know about this song.
But to me, this was the perfect time in the album to do this.
Right.
It was the
Between
perfect time
songs.
to drive it up a notch. Dude, the guitar solo in this, I like that one.
Yeah.
Dude, this reminded me of another song. I can't put my finger on it.
Another MMJ song?
No, another song, period.
Okay.
I kept hearing like, you know, that happens sometimes with a well-written song. It sounds familiar. It sounds nostalgic. Yeah. And I really felt that way with this song. It's probably going to pop on me sometime in the next year, right. Like what I'm thinking about. I didn't know. So
this song took me a minute. I'll be honest. This song did take me a minute after all the songs on here, because it's so different. It's like you said, there's only the drum, him, and it took me a minute. And I just told you today I had my breakthrough with this song. I was listening to it in the shower, and I'm like, now I get it. That guitar at the end just put it together for me. But I did have trouble with this song in the beginning.
Yeah.
This was the one on the album that I thought,
It's textured. They took a chance with that music box sound.
Yeah.
They did.
Because I never heard them use that before.
And I think it will grow on you with the listening.
It did. And like I said, today, just all of a sudden I was like, okay, now I think I get that song.
Yeah.
Squid Ink.
Dude.
The second single off of this album. Edgy, funky, rocking keyboards, great guitar solo. This song has everything in it, man. This song, I love this song. I love this song, man. Just the way that guitar sounds in this song with his voice. I love this song.
Dude, it's so tight too. And you know, when we got to this song, I put my hands up in the air physically at that moment. The first time I listened and said, finally, the rock.
Yeah.
Right? I waited.
It came out hard.
I waited
on this
almost
one.
the whole album for a dirty rock tune. That's what I thought I was going to get. Right? So everything, it really is. It's so tight. You know, my thing about this song is, and it's not a beef on the song because the song is great, but I felt like this song doesn't really fit with the other tunes on this album.
It sounded like it came off of a different album, like off the Z album or something.
That's exactly what I was thinking.
Yeah.
I felt like this song should have maybe just been a single or waited for another project. It didn't seem to fit with the flow.
Because it's hard.
Because then as soon as this song's over, it goes back to the other flow.
Right.
And so I felt like, okay, if you're going to keep this song on the album, you either need to put it at the very beginning or the very end.
Yeah. I love the prog rock keyboards in it.
Yeah.
This reminds me
Dude,
of prog rock.
Again, it is not a beef on the song. The song is great.
Yeah.
It's a great song.
It just didn't really fit the
Yeah, I
album.
felt like it didn't belong on this project.
Yeah.
I
I
don't know,
agree.
it's just-
I'll give you that.
Yeah.
Totally. Yeah, it is different than everything on here.
Yeah.
It's harder than everything on
Yeah,
here.
and I like it. I mean, again, it's in a good way. It's a great song, but it just to me, it didn't fit right.
Yeah.
So
I'll give you that. Yep.
we're
Yeah.
starting to creep up towards the end here, man. So we're at Die
We got
For
two
It now.
more, man.
This is track 9. And dude,
Die For It.
I love the spacey organ in this, man.
Me
you know,
too.
again, they have those really nice contrasts in feel between the different sections of their song. They do a really good job of that. You know, they do that stunty guitar thing a lot on this album. But I do enjoy the lick-based instrumentation and how it matches the vocals. You know, they do a very good job of sort of following the vocalist. And it does give them a very unique sound. That doesn't
it does.
happen that much. So I really like the verse melody in
It's
particular
a
on
pretty
this song.
And it's a great song.
And dude, it's got that nice squealy guitar solo at the
Yep.
end, that dreamy ending. I really,
I love it.
This is a good tune.
Yeah. My favorite is track 10.
Here we are.
Track 10 on this album, I can listen to every day. It's called River Road. And this is a My Morning Jacket song. Mm-hmm. Like, this is the epitome of a My Morning Jacket song. It's my favorite song on the record. It's got that moody, quiet, never loses the mood throughout the whole song. It's got, and it's the same drum beat all the way through. But Jim James's voice over top of all of it just gives me chills. Jim James's voice on this is, to me, better than every song on this album. This song did it for me. This song sold the whole album to me.
Wow.
I love
It's in a good spot then.
to end with this. It made me want to go back to the beginning of the album and play it again.
It's really the only place it could have gone.
Exactly. And again, like I said, it made me want to go start from the beginning and run through it again.
Dude, this felt to me like this sort of late 70s, early 80s, like stadium bluesy songs.
Yes.
Like somebody like Bob Seger or Jerry
How about
Rafferty,
it? That's-
you know? And
I like that.
you know, and that's what it felt like. This song it gave you that nostalgia of those types of songs. Dude, I totally dig this tune. It is a
tune-
fabulous way to end the album.
It is. And his vocals on here, man, just boom.
Yeah. So, what do you think of this album? You know, you have a lot of experience
I
with
have
these
all
guys.
their albums. I will put this probably 3. The 3.
Dude, in a 10 album go, that's
yeah,
good.
I think Z would be my first.
And maybe it will raise with the listening. Because
With the
remember,
listening.
you
It's
know,
new.
Yeah, it's when something's new, we got to get used
It's
to
new.
it.
And I'm one who I will play. And I'm weird.
Yeah.
Like if there's 5 guys in the band, I will put it on first. I'll listen to the drums the whole time. Then I'll listen to it again. Then I listen to the guitar the whole time. Then I listen to the bass stuff. So it'll be 5 times I listen to this before I put it all together.
Yeah.
I'm weird that way. Yeah, I like the Z album. It's probably my favorite album. Circuit It All would probably be my second.
Yeah.
And then this.
Yeah.
I really like this album. I think Giving Up Control did something with Jim James and the rest of the band. Like they could just be the musicians.
Well, and it allowed
They didn't have to be anything else.
a new perspective
Yeah.
on everything that they do.
Yeah.
It was a smart thing to do for album 10.
I agree.
You know,
I agree.
try something new, shake it up, and it worked.
It worked.
You know, I have a private classification system for albums that I break them into. It's essentially 2 categories: Saturday night albums and Sunday morning albums.
I like that.
Other than Squid Ink, which is a great song,
This is a Sunday morning album.
I still believe that, you know, that song just doesn't fit the album. But these songs are Sunday morning songs.
Yes.
They're reflective, they're groovy, they're dynamic,
It
they're
is
chill.
very reflective.
Yeah. Dude, this is a great album for a car ride on a rainy day or a moonless city night.
Yeah.
I wasn't expecting this album to be like this. I'm not going to lie. I don't have a huge experience with this band, like I said, but the songs I have heard maybe made me believe I was going to get more Squid Ink type songs than what I got. But honestly, it was refreshing. And maybe I was just in the mood for a little Sunday morning. But I really enjoyed this collection of songs.
Vibe.
Dude, I did. I really enjoyed this collection. There was a lot of throwback melodies here, and this band does textures brilliantly.
Better than anyone out there right
now.
now.
The guy that produced this album, dude, he deserves a raise.
O'Brien.
He deserves a raise. It is mixed flawlessly. Well done, boys.
And you know what's great about Brendan O'Brien is he never wanted to change the sound of the band.
Mm-hmm.
He sat back. Mm-hmm. I read an article, an interview with how he did this, and he let them be them.
Yeah.
He said he put very little.
Well, that's what a good producer does, man. They channel.
And he said he says he realized that all they wanted to do was please him.
Which is so funny.
Which they never had to do before.
Yeah.
And this is what you got.
Yeah.
I mean,
when you work with a legendary producer, how else are you going to do it?
Right. Now, I want to tell you 3 songs. Again,
yeah.
If you don't...
Top 3 songs from the album we're picking. You pick them too, by the way.
From this album?
Yeah. Top 3 songs from this album.
Definitely River Road. Definitely Squid Ink. And I'm going to go from the ending. I mean, they're the 3 hardest. And I went for the 2 of the hardest songs on it. Mm-hmm. But yeah, I would go River Road is my favorite on it. Mm-hmm. Squid Ink. And then Beginning from the Ending.
Dude, it's hilarious because I picked 3 totally different songs.
That's why.
Now, the only reason I didn't pick River Road is I knew you were going to pick it.
Yeah.
So I picked Half a Lifetime.
Love that song.
Everyday Magic and Time Waited.
Time Waited is great, man.
Yeah, the whole album.
Time Waited talks to me.
Dude, I liked every song. There wasn't a single song where I was like, eh.
Yeah, I want to give you 3 songs that if you don't know this band, to start with.
Well, this is what you should do. Post them.
Yeah, I will do that.
Post them.
I will do that on this site.
Post them online, and that way, people
if you're a beginner.
If you're just coming to this band, here are the 3 songs.
To start with.
Yeah. Because
first start with that documentary.
Yeah.
That'll blow your mind.
Post that too.
That'll blow your mind.
Yeah. Dude, and you have to check that out. Check out this album. I'm going to actually, literally, when we're done taping this right now, I'm going to go post about it on Facebook and post the Spotify link to this album.
Yeah.
So if you don't have Spotify, just find it wherever you listen to music. It'll be on YouTube. It'll be on all the streaming sites.
Hey, and these guys are touring. They're touring this album, and they were in Philly.
When in September?
At the Met, October 10th and 11th,
October.
which is a Friday and Saturday night. Mm-hmm. I got 2 tickets to the 11th.
Dude.
At the Met. So I'm going to get to see this band for the second time.
That's awesome. Dude, this has been such a great first album review. Mo, I'm so glad to have Mo and Mo back on the show.
Thanks for having me. Thanks for listening.
Dude, yeah, we're going to get you back again real soon. This is a great album. Please go check it out. Please support the band. Please support our band as well. He's got Mo Blues. I got Rooster Stone.
Get out and support
Go to our sites and check it out, man. Just hit that like button. It doesn't cost you a thing to share or like whatever it is that a small artist is trying to do to get their music out there. So please do that. Yeah. And thanks for listening to the show. We love having you here. If you made it to the end,
subscribe,
you're one of my people. All right. And hey, man, like always.
Cheers.
I'm going to wish you peace and one love. Come on over to roosterstone.com where you can book the band for any event you can imagine. Acoustic, full band, whatever your event may require. You can also email us to take online music lessons at an affordable monthly price. Don't forget to download our original music and like, follow, and subscribe to Rooster Stone across all social media platforms. Keep rocking out at roosterstone.com.